going to talk to Sean Steezy Bailey, who was born on May 20th, 1996 in Seattle, USA. Sean began climbing at age 5, and his parents were both climbers. Now he's, of course, a well-known and successful competition climber and rock climber. I mean, he's climbed 9B plus route, 8C plus boulder. He's won 2, I think, World Cups in lead and 1 in boulder.
Salt Lake and Chamonix.
Which is kind of rare for athletes to win both boulder and lead, but also in the same season. And the route he climbed, the 9B plus, was of course Alex Magus's bibliography at Suit. Used to be 9C, went down to 9B plus after Stefano Gisolfi repeated it.
Here he is.
So welcome. Good to not see you, but hear you. I can't see you actually, which is kind of weird. But we will have to work anyway. It worked with Colin. It's just that it feels weird to talk to someone when you don't see them.
I know, that's a shame actually.
Because you're dressed up and all beautiful, or what?
Oh yeah, I put on a special outfit just for you guys.
Oh man. So anyway, like, big welcome. Really good to make it happen.
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah.
I mean, we discussed it already this spring. Was it even last fall? I don't know. Last fall, I think it was, or maybe last spring.
Yeah, maybe almost like exactly a year ago. Yeah. I think it was in Switzerland.
So, and now you're still in Slovenia, right? On your way to Seoul?
No, actually, on my way to Greece for the Petzl Rock trip in a few days, and then I go straight to the U.S. from there for both the U.S. World Cups, the Salt Lake ones.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to Seoul like Nathaniel, but apparently not then.
Yeah, Greece will be nice for sure.
Yeah,
but a little bummed to be missing it.
Before we get into questions, because Vladek had some really quick icebreaker questions to set us up, I guess. I'm a bit curious about your name, Steezy. Where does it come from? Like, well, I don't think everyone knows what it means actually, so maybe you should explain. And also, I'm curious as to whether you came up with it yourself or if you're given to you.
No, I mean, I don't know. It was probably when I was like 16 or 17 or something, and I had a different handle and I changed it, and I wanted to change it back, and then like my handle was already taken or something, so I just came up with something real fast. But yeah, style and ease, but I don't know, I'm not trying to say that about myself. It was just like I was 16.
So you did come up with yourself. That's great.
Yeah, it turned into a nickname for some people, but I don't know why.
So Vladek, should you get going with your
Okay. Smartest person in the world or richest person in the world?
Let's go smartest.
See the future or change the past?
That's tough. Probably see the future. I don't want to fuck with the past. It seems sketchy.
Logic or emotion?
Straight down the middle. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Words or actions?
Actions.
Passion or stability?
Passion. Yeah.
Skill or popularity?
Skill, for sure.
Hero or anti-hero?
Let's go anti-hero. Why not?
Painful truth or comforting lie?
Oh, definitely painful truth. Yeah.
Not night out or night in?
It used to be a night out, but now it's more and more like a night in these days. Probably a night out though.
Vegetarian or meat eating?
I try to be vegetarian, but I'm bad at it, so whatever that means.
Tattoos or piercing?
Tattoos, yeah.
Working hard or hardly working?
Working hard, I guess.
Late. Arrive early or arrive late?
Late.
Indoor or outdoor climbing?
Yikes, fuck. That's tough. Yeah, indoors right now, just because I've been doing it the last like 3 months.
Do you think climbing needs a more badass image?
Oh, it definitely, yeah. I wish you could get away with a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little too proper right now. Yeah, more
Too
pics of people
friendly.
partying, having a good time seems all right to me, as long as no one gets hurt. I guess I just like wish there's more like self-expression in through like Instagram and social media and stuff, because I feel like a lot of people don't even really try to express themselves. I feel like a lot of it's just like say what you're supposed to say and get it over with, you know. And I'd just be interested to see more like personality.
Do you feel you get a lot of shit when you express yourself on Instagram or other ways?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just think that people don't, because it's like the easier route.
Could it also be that like if you look at the like the American team, for example, I mean at 25, soon 26, you're actually one of the older, right?
Yeah, don't remind me, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of kids there in a way.
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure. I don't know. You definitely don't want to like send the wrong message for sure. I think people should still be like careful about what they say, but it definitely there's a line between like complete cookie cutter and like full expression, you know, somewhere in there.
But if we should get back in time a little bit, because I remember what must have been your first season on the World Cup, which was in 2016, right? I just heard stories about you driving around in Europe on your own, like sleeping in your car or whatever. Is there any truth behind these
Yeah,
rumors?
that's true for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have too much money back then, and we weren't, funded to get a comps by USA Climbing or anything like that. And there weren't really too many people doing it. It was like I was the only person at a few World Cups. So yeah, it was between like I think trains and stuff for having a car, and then like paying for hotels and stuff was like a bit expensive. So it was just easier to stay in the car at a few of them. The Yaris, the Toyota Yaris.
I'm just checking the Toyota. Oh, Toyota Yaris. This is a small car. That's not
Yeah,
even
it's a compact for sure.
That's a yeah.
It was a tough sleep.
But what was that season like? I mean, you had quite a lot of success, didn't you? I
Yeah,
seem to remember you almost getting on the podium.
yeah, one spot away, fourth at in Vilar. Maybe I think that was the second comp, maybe. Yeah, it was good. It was. I don't know. I was just like psyched to do it because I had no World Cup experience at that time, and it was a whole new world to me. So I just wanted to kind of like see what would happen, like experience Europe, because I had in the past, but not not as much as I have now. So just travel and climb as much as I can and see what results I could get. But I had a real open mindset because I had no idea what was going to happen, if I was going to make semis or totally suck or make a final. Like it was anything goes. So I think all the success I had was, I was just stoked.
But so did it come as a surprise that you can play so well in the comps?
For sure, yeah. I mean, I guess I thought that my fitness was pretty good, but I hadn't like stacked it up against the best in the world before. So it was cool to see that the work I'd put in was putting me in a pretty good spot. And the first comp, I was like pretty surprised with my result because I didn't feel like I climbed my best and got maybe top 10 or 11th or something like that, like pretty close to the final. And then after that, I realized, I'm pretty strong, and I think I could maybe make a final this season if I have a good round. So then I was just, trying to make that happen. It was still like surprising, but I don't know. I didn't try to put too much thought into it.
Do you miss those days in some way, or is it everything's better now? Or
I mean, I definitely look back on it nostalgically. It was a wild time for sure. I mean, yeah, it was a wild time. It was fun. So I miss parts of it, but there's parts of it that are nice now too. A little more security, and it's a little bit easier. And a little less stressful, but it was a good time. So I can't say that I wouldn't mind doing 1 or 2 comps like that again, because it was fun.
What did it change? Like how it looks so training like in those days and now, like.
Well, the training was super different, because I had no idea what people were doing and what the style was. So I just had no idea. I was just doing the same stuff I was doing when I was a youth, like competing at Youth Worlds and stuff, which was just like climbing a lot of sport climbs, I guess, like climbing on a rope a lot and just doing like tons of volume, like probably too much volume, and like real long endurance. Like I would climb a route, like a 15-meter route, and then lower, and then get back on it, do it again, lower, get back on it, do it again, like do it like 4 times in a row, like just like tons of volume back when. Yeah, it built me a really good base, but I think I could have added a few more things in now, looking back.
About that, I mean, mixing rock and competition climbing, or you can actually train for competitions on rock. Has that become harder? I mean, obviously it's difficult when it comes to bouldering, because the style is usually very different to outdoors, but has it become more difficult on routes as well?
Like, I don't think so. I think there's such a big, I don't know, there's just like a lot you need for route climbing, and I think you can attack it from like so many different places. Like bouldering helps your route climbing, and 50-meter routes helps your route climbing. So there's like this like huge space that you can train in that is going to be helpful. So I don't know if it's like your last preparation before a comp to go climb some route outside maybe isn't going to be the best thing, but for building your base and just becoming a better lead climber, I think it still translates quite a bit.
Like basic fitness and strength.
Yeah,
I guess.
definitely. And like a ability to rest and stuff too, because it's important. You like learn how to use bad rests, and I learn how to climb really technically and efficiently, I think, because that's more important outside a lot of the time.
And then again, you seem to be one of the few that can actually combine lots of outdoor climbing with being successful on the competition scene as well. Like your last year was I mean, it was spectacular with extremely hard sends on both rock and I mean both in bouldering and on routes. Like you climbed 9B plus, and you climbed 8C plus boulders, which is then what, let's see, 15C, and you climbed V16.
Yeah.
and also winning in both bouldering and lead, which is sort of unprecedented. I don't think anyone has had such a good season.
It's
ever.
a real trip thinking about that now, because
yeah.
I don't know how that worked out.
And how are you going to beat that this year?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the real question, right? How to continue progressing, which I would love to do. But yeah, I mean, I think just more of the same. Just keep training, keep grinding, keep learning new things, try to incorporate them into my training, and then just the big things, just like finding the time to do everything that I want to do, because last year was really fucking busy. And it was great, but it was super tiring. So just finding those times to slot in training, and then the times to slot in, the competitions, and then to slot in projects outside, and just kind of like managing that whole side of things is a big part of it.
Yeah, with all the success that you had, is there still anything that you thought last year that, well, next year I'm gonna change this so it will become even better, like something that you learned? Was it is there anything specific there?
Yeah, I think I made a few transitions that I didn't like very much between rock climbing and comp climbing, and between training and comp climbing to rock climbing. Like there's just a few kind of like aggressive transitions. So I think just like keeping in mind like what the future goal is and what the next thing I'm trying to do is, and like preparing for that a little bit earlier is going to be something I'm trying to bring in. But it's hard to do because you only have so much energy to train, so you kind of use it where you feel like you need it most, and it's hard to get it completely right.
Yeah, and you can't control everything, right? It's
For sure, yeah, there's always going to be some uncontrollable variables.
But you train with the whole team in Salt Lake?
Yeah, last year was like a mix. I trained actually here in Slovenia a bit with my friends here, and then I trained in Salt Lake a fair bit too. And I spent a lot of time outside too, which I'd consider a lot of that training depending on the style of climbing I was doing. Yeah, I think I was outdoors for like 8 months or something, and then transitioned into gym climbing for some US, I guess, yeah, the qualifying comps, and then had a few months in the gym, and then Boulder World Cups, and then another month in the gym in the US, in Salt Lake, and then Lead World Cups, and then some training over here in Europe, and then straight to Seyoust to France.
I'm a bit curious. I don't know if it's just a coincidence or not, but if I look at your results in Boulder specifically, your results are so much better in the US than outside. Well, typically.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Because it's not like it's only like US route setters or route setting or anything like that, I guess.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure out the whole bouldering thing.
Yeah, but because I think it was so obvious, like watching the comp where you won the second Salt Lake comp last year.
Yeah.
I mean, you were so like psyched. How important is your mindset when you're competing, like your psych,
Yeah.
and when things don't go according to plan from the start, like how can you maintain that mindset still, or can you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question I'm asking right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it is huge, I think. I think the mindset in bouldering especially is, I mean, in lead it's really important too, but fitness plays a big role, and I just have it more figured out, so I guess it makes more sense in my head. But in bouldering, mindset is huge. There's so many strong dudes who are capable physically of making a final, even like technically of making a final, but being able to actually like perform well enough to achieve those things is really hard. Yeah, I don't know. I think mindset's everything. I think the fact that it happened in the US both times is kind of coincidence, but I do think that those rounds suited me for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because of US setters or just like what those rounds were, but I flowed well in them and they worked for me. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, like to have like the same mindset works and they're building off of it at each comp, and yeah, I struggle to find that one kind of like mindset or like continuity with my mindset that works. Like it's some things work some days, and the next comp it's like a different story. I need something a little different. I think it just comes down to how you feel about it before you even start competing, and then whatever happens in ISO. But
yeah, and I guess a bouldering competition, it's such a journey with highs and lows and defeats and successes like all the time. I mean, you get defeated by one boulder, if you can say that, and then you need to forget that and get on the next one, and then you have success, and then you get like into trouble. Like it's so much, or can be so much more of a roller coaster than a route. Where it's just, I guess that's the journey as well, but it's just you have one chance.
It's funny. You'd think one chance is like more stressful, but it really just comes down to fighting like as hard as you can and trying to be efficient. Which turns out I'm okay at doing. But yeah, the bouldering's different for sure. It's like, it feels like a lot more of a game, definitely. But it's cool. That's the cool part, is so few people have figured it out. Like in the men's category, there's like maybe 5 guys who I could say have figured it out, which is that's the exciting thing, right? Is like, oh man, like they know how to do it and they're able to repeat this success over and over and over and over again. So there's obviously some tricks, some mindset, and some physical ability. Some combination of things is possible to be consistent. So it's cool.
Yeah, I think you said that in that film that you made. What was it called?
Proof of concept, maybe.
Exactly. I think you said that you feel sometimes of, yeah, right, I know, now I got it, and then it's gone again. That feeling.
How important is it, like by outdoor climbing, if you try some like new project, and you struggle with it, and like, is it like in your head, or it's just physical outdoor, like you do it again and again, and at some point you just send it?
No, I think it's mental too. Like it's definitely physical, but I think the mind games definitely start to become more of a thing. I think for me, like 2 to 3 weeks into projecting something is when I start to kind of deal with more mental issues. And when I feel close and when it feels possible, that's kind of when either doubt starts hitting, or like expectations kind of change a little bit, and then it gets pretty mental. But I think up until maybe 2 weeks on a project, it's mostly fun and mostly easy to find progress. I think once you stop seeing progress is when it gets to be more of a mental battle, because if progress only comes like one day out of every 4 sessions, it's pretty hard to stay in it, for me anyways.
Then how you deal with it? Like you take a break from the route, or you just continue till
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm still trying to. So far, I've either just completely let things go, or I've stuck with it. I haven't really found the in-between, but definitely taking a few days here to there helps a lot. But it's also, it takes away from time on what you're trying and energy and all these things. So it can be hard to like take those days off and try other stuff.
So like bibliography was, I guess, the route you've spent most time on, that you actually sent. Really close to that route is another route called biography.
Yes.
Which is not unfamous. Both these routes are really routes on the highest level, right? But biography has like one V10 crux, I think, at the start.
Yeah, maybe V11 even.
Maybe V11, something, yeah. And then it's more like consistent climbing, and then you have like a V8 near the top, right? Which is
something, or even maybe 9.
Okay.
That was a hard boulder for me. That'd be a hard V8.
All those grades depends on body size and finger size, and
a whole bunch of things.
But like if you compare that to what you said about bibliography in the film there, I think you said it was like first you climb like in low end 14, like so that's like B plus, I guess, or 8C, and then you have like a long V13 boulder crux, and then some more hard climbing, and then like a V10. That's a huge difference, between these routes, which only results in 2 pluses?
Yeah, it's true.
2 letters. Is there a huge difference between those 2 routes on the
For
same
sure. Yeah, a world of difference, I think. I climbed biography when I was 20 or 21 or 22, or I don't know, somewhere in there. I think 20 or 21. And I had pretty good luck on it. Like I climbed really well on it, and I was psyched. I think I did it in like 6 or 7 days. And that was, I feel like I'm a different climber now. Like I'd like to think I'm leagues ahead of where I was physically. And the challenge that bibliography gave me is like incomparable. Like I didn't have that same beat down on biography.
So, like, could you go back to, or did you go back on biography afterwards? Now, well, while you were working bibliography, just to climb, could you just do laps on it now, or is it like kind
I
of
wanted
difference?
to try it. I didn't
Yeah.
end up trying it. A lot of people were trying it actually,
All
so I
right.
didn't want to get in their way. Yeah, I didn't get back on it, but I do want to at some point try to send it again, see what it feels like now.
Yeah, maybe 2 cents back to back or something.
Yeah, do a double.
Yeah.
Maybe a 4x4.
Yeah. Then also that breaking down routes into like boulder sections. If you see just a bunch of numbers like Ace of Spades, you have V13 to V10 to V10.
Yeah.
Or you have silence, which is like an 8B route to V15 to V13. No,
It doesn't really mean anything, I feel like. I mean, it does, because
but it doesn't.
those things do exist within the whole piece. I think you can break things down so many different ways that it starts to get a little confusing and it stops making sense. To me, it's just like the best way to articulate like what's going on and what the key sections feel like. But when you look at the overall flow of something and the entirety of it, you could take this one grade breakdown of some route and then some other route can have the exact same grade breakdown and be a totally different style and difficulty and all these things. So I think it helps explain it, but yeah, it really it's hard to really break it down that far.
But if we're trying still, I know that we were talking to Nathaniel the other day, actually last week I think it was, and he mentioned the project that you guys have. How would you compare that thing to a thing like bibliography?
Harder, I think. Yeah, it's harder for sure. But the style is so different. Yeah, it's super steep. It's very physical. And mostly through the lower cruxes, it's in your big muscles. It's less. I mean, you get pumps for sure, but it's a lot in the in the biceps and the back and your shoulders, just because of how steep it is. Looking at the crux of the head wall, that's actually something that I could see and say use because it's much less steep. It's maybe 15 or 20 degrees overhung, something like that, and super fingery, like really, really fingery.
Yeah.
Hard to compare because I'd say that bibliography is a lot more consistent, and this route is kind of like this endurance crux into a really hard boulder. So it's just being able to execute hard bouldering moves with the pump that you accumulated on the bottom.
So do you feel that's the thing for this year or several years from now? Or
yeah, I mean, definitely would love to go back this year or maybe early next year, just kind of depending on what the season looks like. But I think want to go as soon as the weather gets good and when it's at its best. It's a little tough because it's hot a lot of the time, and like the sun aspect is pretty lame. It's hard to climb on it because it's in the sun like the whole day. So we climbed on it at night a lot of the time just so that we could get the cool weather and like not be baking, feel the holds. But yeah, we're psyched to get back. I'm psyched to try it again, and it felt like possible last season, but hard. Yeah, I mean, all the sequences went, and I did it in a couple pieces, so I was pretty psyched about that. But yeah, it's hard to know like how far away that is from actually doing the route, because of how hard this boulder is.
How long is it actually, the route?
It's a good question. It's super hard to gauge actually, because it's so steep that like it doesn't look that big kind of when you're like standing at some aspects, but then when you look from another place, it looks like really long. So I want to say like maybe like 20 meters through the crux, something like that.
And how many bolts if you?
Ooh, that I don't know.
You don't clip them anyway, right?
We don't clip any of them. we skip most of them. It's really hard to clip actually, and it takes a lot of energy. So we clip literally as little as possible without it being sketchy, and even then there's still one or two parts that are a little sketchy maybe.
Where is it actually? Is it easy to get to?
It's okay.
Project?
Yeah, it's not so bad. It's like a 20-minute drive on dirt roads that are you want the clearance for sure. A 4-wheel drive would be good, and then 20-minute hike or something. It's not a European like park your car and get out. I guess the use isn't like that either, though. So
this route you said is quite different to Zeus in a way that it's super steep first, and then like you have a head wall. What is your preferred style actually, and what's your anti-style?
Yeah, I think preferred style right now is power endurance is really what I like. Either in boulders or in routes. Or like shorter routes and longer boulders, I think. Yeah, steep climbing, physical climbing. I like when the holds are bad but usable, like you can still do moves on them and feel like you're pulling. Anti-style, I guess, would be, man, I don't know. Right now it's feeling like comp bouldering, but I don't think that's true. No, yeah, probably like once I just get real spread out, it gets hard. I think there's a lot of stuff that I just can't climb on because it's too spanny or whatever. Like a lot of boulders I wish I could try that probably will never go. But
yeah, I mean we all feel that somehow, like with when the box size doesn't fit. Anyway, I did too big or too small. It's
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm rarely too big for a boulder. I haven't experienced yet.
What's your goal for this season actually then? Like in the competition? To go more like to do more lead climbing, bouldering, or all of it, or?
Yeah, right now I think I'm trying to do all of it besides Korea. Yeah, I'm psyched. I've been training a lot of bouldering. That's been my main focus. I'll start transitioning to some more lead, kind of like right now, and then in the next few weeks, actually in Greece, since I'll be sport climbing, that'll help a little bit. And then, from Salt Lake on, I'll start focusing a little more lead heavy. But yeah, I'm psyched to do it. I'm gonna probably do, most of the lead cups, if not all of them, just see where my psych is. If I'm feeling strong and getting good results, then I'll probably stick with it. If I feel like I need a break, I'll just go climb outside and stuff, because it's been a long indoor and training stint that I've been on for a while. So it's been good. It's been great for fitness and stuff, but I'm psyched to get outside too.
So do you see this Pestle Rock trip as more of a vacation or more of an opportunity to train?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to do a route, maybe. I'd like to try to do something. I'd be psyched. Something kind of hard, but not crazy. It would be cool. But I think trying to mostly look at it as like deloading before Salt Lake World Cups, because I had like a 2-month cycle before Meiringen that was pretty intense, and now I'm having like a 1-month cycle that has been even more intense. So yeah, just try to deload and like let my body rest and heal and recover a little bit, and then be ready for the next World Cups. Because after Greece, it's like Salt Lake, and then next week Salt Lake, and then there's like a 2-week break, and then next week there's a comp like every week or every other week for like 2 months. So yeah, it's a lot. It's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be a lot.
Do you have already like Paris in your mind, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think I have it in mind. Yeah, I'd like to do it. It seems exciting to me because it's the two things that I love doing, which is bouldering and lead climbing. And I like the idea of maybe not so much the format, but the idea of having to be like peak bouldering fitness and peak lead fitness at the same time, and testing for that is kind of cool. So I'm excited because it's new, and I think that like looking outside of competition, being able to perform like the hardest bouldering moves you can and the hardest endurance climbing you can at the same time is like that's the future of hard rock climbing to me too. So I think it's like it'll be cool to train for, because I think it'll translate to a lot of other things.
And if we look even further into the future, do you think you will be able to fend off the kids until Los Angeles 28?
That's a great question. Yeah, that's too far. I can look like 2 years into the future, and then I get a little lost in the sauce.
It's gotta be tempting though, like with the Olympics back home.
Yeah, in LA, it would be cool.
Yeah.
I'll be what 20? That's in 28. 6 years, yeah, 30, 31, 32. Yeah, 32, because it'll be in August. Yeah, shit. I mean, I hope to be fit enough to still do it if I wanted to, you know, like I'd hope to keep progressing as long as I can in climbing, but I don't know, you know, where that is.
Have to be a lot of nights in.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, the hangovers just get worse. I'm already feeling it. I can't. 32s, I think it's going to be tough. You guys maybe can let me in.
No. Don't know what you're talking about.
I just want the tips. Like, is it Pedialyte? How do I? Orange juice? I don't know.
I'm also curious, I'm getting back to the outdoor thing. Like, you started with outdoor bouldering, like hard outdoor bouldering quite recently, like late 2020, I guess, during pandemics, and you reached like the hardest things this was before Return of the Sleepwalker. So you climbed 2 8C pluses, P16s in the US. Do you think and you did it quite quickly. So do you have any projects or ideas about progressing on boulders as well, outdoors?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to progress. Yeah, it's just a time management thing, really. I think I like it's hard. I just go in and out of phases. Like right now I'm in a bouldering phase and I'm using it for comps, but it could just as easily be, you know, trying to use it for outdoor bouldering, which I'm psyched on right now too. I'm just like psyched on bouldering, whatever it may be. So yeah, I think it just comes down to when it aligns next that I'm real psyched on bouldering and I have the time to go on some trips and try to do some things. But I definitely would like to keep pursuing bouldering because there's a lot of boulders that I haven't done that I'd like to do, and I'd also just like to. Yeah, I don't feel like I've like found the limit or my limit yet, so trying to find that would be cool.
I guess it's at this point in time, it's going to be difficult for you to spend like a month in the desert like Daniel did for Return to the Sleepwalker. Is this something? Have you seen that one also?
Yeah, well, I've tried the moves on Return because I was there with him actually when he first started trying it. Yeah, it's cool. It's not the most suited to me. I'd like to go back for Sleepwalker for sure because I didn't finish it up. I spent like a month trying it and got really close like pretty early and then just never lined up. So I'd be psyched to go back for that, and then if it feels good, maybe try Return. But yeah, I think there's other boulders too that I'm psyched on.
Cool. Did you see Jacob's April Fools on that one?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was so good.
Yeah, it was like pretty believable. It was
nice.
Yeah. I was like, respect. Oh wait, April Fool's on him. People should downgrade things more before they haven't done it.
But about that kind of thing, by the way, things on the web. What do you think about Climberism?
Oh, I love him. He's so funny. Yeah. He's a real legend.
I mean, you're quite often featured, right?
Yeah, I mean, he hits the nail on the head a lot of the time, so not much I can say. I can't really talk shit, you know? Got my girlfriend telling me, oh, he sounds just like you. I'm like, shut up.
You have been in Ticino for 2 or 3 days now with Nathaniel, right?
Yeah.
Did you try something hard there, or you just
Yeah, tried a few things. Tried a new thing that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, but
Okay.
it was really nice. So I'd like to go back and try it.
Please elaborate.
You have to buy me a drink first. It's not my boulder to talk about, so.
From Instagram, so how do you spend the time in ISO before the boulder round or like competing? Yeah, what do you do usually?
Just hang out with friends, kind of chat with everyone, because a lot of times you haven't seen a lot of people in a while, so that's fun at first, and then yeah, try to get in the zone and get a good warm up in. Yeah, it's pretty simple, but have some snacks.
What's your favorite hold?
Man, there's this one like lucha libre that I really like right now, actually, because it's been a big transition because I used to hate them so much, but like the fatty pinch, I'm a big fan of at the moment. That's probably my favorite.
How many alarms or alarm clocks do you need to wake up?
Normally the third, I think. I always say it's gonna be the first, but yeah, I always make it to the third. If I make it to the fourth, it's a bad day. What, ISO closes in 20 minutes? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Did you want to ask about the favorite color, Vladek?
No, that was your question.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
I was hoping we were gonna do the favorite color. I was getting excited.
No, we always do that in the second interview.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
we're not there quite yet.
Yeah, no, but thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. It's fun.
So then I guess you in Salt Lake?
Yeah. Are you guys both gonna be around?
I will be around. Björn is lazy, so he's not coming.
Ah, dang it. When will I see you next, Bjorn?
Brixton.
Brixton, okay, word.
Yeah.
Cool, I look forward to it.
I don't have so enjoy Greece and good luck in Salt Lake. Hope you get the right mindset and get psyched.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, you should.
Alright,
Cool.
I'll see you guys around.
Okay.
See you. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
I mean,
You will cut this out, right?
no. This is the only part I'll keep. What are you doing? Like, who's there with you?